it takes courage to be our unapologetic selves. Hey y'all, welcome to Meryl's Mystic. I'm Meryl, and I empower witches, bitches, and dudes to complete themselves in order to have healthier soulmate relationships and more purposeful lives. Because I believe that only if you are your own soulmate can you attract the right soulmate, because you are the one that you are looking for. And I'm here to help you do that by helping you tap into the natural cycles of the earth and the stars through astrology and tarot. And I'm also a psychic medium. Thank you so much for being here. If it's your first time, please subscribe. And if you've been here before, welcome back. It's so good to see you. So we are here today to talk about Leo season. And Leo season will start on July 22nd and it goes until August 22nd this year. And then the new moon in Aquarius will be the day after Leo season begins, on the 23rd. And the new moon during Leo season is always in Aquarius, which is actually like a great little highlight to help us get a little bit more into our weird, let your freak flag fly. That's what Aquarius is really good at. And so that's gonna really help us be our best selves. And then the new moon in Leo will be on August 8th. So how was Cancer season? Cancer season really had us digging deep into our feels and trying to align our hearts with our heads. And there was a lot of stuff that we were all moving through. And as I'm recording this, it's still about a week from Leo season, and Mars and Venus and the moon just conjuncted in Leo. So already we're having you have already been experiencing some of the strong Leo energy that really gives us the fire to get up and go and to be courageous and unapologetic in being our best selves. So what does that mean for us? Well, I can tell you already from experience that means that we will be working through some more resistance, because it takes courage to be our unapologetic selves. And that means showing up when we don't always want to show up, or working through our fear, going forward despite our fear. The root word of courage is ku, which is Latin for love, I believe. Just spouting off facts that I hold on to my mind and trust myself to be true. There is, I think it might be the Latin. I think it's the Latin root of courage. It means heart, and you can find the connection in the Spanish word corazón. Also means heart. Mi corazón, it means my love. So there's a lot of connection between our heart and courage, and having courage to go after what we want and to commit to who we are and who we want to be and what our purpose is, because we all have purpose in life, and it is up to us to find and claim that purpose. And Leo season's gonna keep helping us do that. We started in Cancer season. I mean, it's been going throughout the entire year of gearing us up and supporting us in letting go of things that no longer serve us, and really connecting deeply to like what's in our heart and what's in our soul and what we feel like we are being called to do in this life. So the main thing about this Leo season is to be yourself. We're really, if you've seen my Cancer videos, go watch the Cancer videos for your sign. A big thing about Cancer season was accepting who we are, accepting what we want in this life, and also then building boundaries to protect what is most precious to us. And it was all about, it was kind of being more I shouldn't say kind of, there was a big energy of being more selfish, and Leo season is definitely going to help us continue to carry that over, because Leo is really great about being unapologetically themselves and telling people what they think and going after what they want and being who they are. And that's exactly what we all need after we were digging around for our like biggest, deepest dreams. Now we kind of come into the Leo season to really commit to those things. That was another theme that came up, was commitment. I literally pulled one of my cards I pulled today was commitment. one of my angel cards, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's like perfect, because we did so much, deep diving from Gemini season to Cancer season about who we are, what we want, and what our truths are. And now it's about committing to that and deciding, like, this is what I want, this is who I am, and I'm going to go after it no matter what anybody says. Because nobody can tell Leo nothing how to do. So Leo's really great because not only are they fierce in who they are fiercely loyal. So that's where this commitment piece comes from too. Leo's usually not afraid of commitment. They like having steady people around them. And because there is a certain, like, Leo just has a certain je ne sais quoi about them. I mean, I even put, like, my fancy nails on for you guys. Because I love my Leos. I adore you guys so much. And because the je ne sais quoi. The je ne sais quoi of just being very proud of who they are and taking pride in how they look and how they present themselves. And it's a balance. My mother's a Leo, so there was definitely some arguments about how I wanted to look and how she wanted me to look, because I was a reflection of her, because I'm her cub, so but I know she's very proud of me now, and she has been, but there was always a tug of how we came off as a reflection of her. And I know some other Leo mothers that are like that also. And if you are a Leo mother, let me know if you have a Scorpio child, or if you're a Scorpio, let me know if you have a Leo child, because I've met a lot of combinations of that, especially mothers and daughters, and because we are very similar from each other, but we have a lot to learn from each other. And I know my mom and I learned a lot from each other and still have a lot to learn from each other. This brings me to our tarot card of the season. Strength is the tarot card associated with Leo, and of course there's a lion there. And as I was talking about courage earlier, I always say that I think courage is a better name for the strength card than strength, because anybody can be strong if they need to be, but it really takes courage to work through the fear. And that's really what we're all here for, is to work through the fear of whatever comes up for you, right? Especially in this energy of being our unapologetic selves, a lot of it is the fear of what other people think, and the fear of looking silly or looking stupid or being judged, the fear of being exiled or snubbed, or what's the other word, shunned. And there's a lot of fear still in our world of being hurt and being unsafe. And there's a lot of people out there that fear for their lives every day, and yet they still get up and go and live their life. And it's more than strength. It's courage. Courage is more than strength. You are strong. Leo season is here also to remind us about how strong we are and how courageous we can be. Yeah. So, if you see too, she is connected to the magician. Her and this, our lovely femme woman here, lady, and the magician are the two figures that have the infinity symbol above their head to show that they are magical beings. And she's covered in, foliage and leaves, so she's very abundant. And she is, she knows the strength of the wild beast, and yet it doesn't deter her. Like, look how calm she is. And you know what? I almost wonder if she's one of the queens or an empress or something because she has the crown. I feel like I've seen her somewhere else in the deck. So, strength and courage to be yourself unapologetically. That's what we're doing this season. Cool. Let's get into your tarot scopes and see what Leo season has in store for you. All tarot scope readings apply to your sun, moon, and rising sign. So I always recommend that you cross-watch between your signs so that you can get a full picture of what you might be experiencing. And the intros to all the videos are the same, and I have the tarot scopes time-stamped in each description, so you can just skip that intro after you hear it the first time. Please join me on my Facebook and Instagram for the next live for the full moon in Aquarius, and that will be taking place the evening of Wednesday, July 21st. Hi, Gemini. So good to see you. Thank you for being here. What is Leo season gonna be bringing you? Cancer season, I feel like, was trying to remind you and reminding quite a few people that you're human, Ooh. Okay. So, some major stuff's going on for everybody, it seems like. And I feel like I could have sworn you guys got this card for Cancer season, got the World. And I think it was in reverse. So finally, like, because it's feeling like it was feeling like, you were like nearing the end of something, but it was like not quite the end yet. And now I wish I could remember the lesson of Cancer season. If you didn't watch Cancer season, definitely go watch it. You can check out like little like one sentence blurps on my Instagram if that's easier. But this is cool because, oh my gosh, the more I'm looking at them, I'm like realizing that they're in order. And you guys are like my second to last recording. I've been shuffling a lot, and you have the World, which is the last card in the Major Arcana, and then the Fool in reverse, which is the very first card, and he's actually 0. And then we have the Magician, which is the number 1 card in the Major Arcana. So you literally got the ending and the beginning and the first step. And it's really cool because, like, that's how the Fool is actually connected to the World, because it is the 0 card, because the Fool represents all of us as we move through the journey of the Major Arcana. So it's cool because you got, like, the end, the World, and the Magician, kind of like the beginning, upright, and then you have the Fool right there in the middle. in reverse. So it's so there's a few things going on here. It should just be very clear to you now that things are ending so that new things can begin. And the magician is the first, level. He's kind of like the first level. If you imagine, like almost like a video game, and a lot of the major arcana are kind of like the bosses of each level, and you have to beat each boss to get to the next level. And you're working on beating this last boss of the world. But with the game of life, it starts all over again. Once you complete the journey, it starts all over again. And it feels like with the Fool, representing really you, in this, there's like some resistance here. This thing that you've been wanting to end is finally ending, but then you're like, you don't want to like begin again. When the beginning's like, come on, man, we're right here. It's time to level up. And that's a huge theme for Leo season across the board, is like, we are leveling up. And in order to do that, you have to like beat the level before. So yeah, we're starting the game again, but it's almost like, okay, the only thing I can picture it is like, if you've played like original Super Mario, and there were like the worlds, like each, like you had the whole game, and then it was broken down into like these worlds, like World 1, World 2, World 3, World 4, and then it was like level 1 of World 1, level 2, it was like level 1-1, level 1-2, level 1-3, level 1-4, and so it's basically like the major arcana are all the levels that you have to go through within each world. It's like World 1 Magician, World 1 High Priestess, World 1 Empress, World 1 Emperor. Like you have to each, and then once you get to the world, which is like the end of that world, the game doesn't start over again. You go into a different world, like. And you've leveled up now. You've learned like a bunch of stuff in that on that first journey through, and now it's time to like take all that things that you learned, because like when you start out in World 1, Mario's got nothing, and then he gets the mushroom that helps him grow, and then eventually he gets a star that everything, he defeats everything when it touches him, and then he gets the fire flower and can shoot fire out, and then and then there's always an underwater world where he learns to swim, and then there's all those elements in the next world, but the things become a little bit more challenging, but you have more tools now in order to help you navigate through it. And so it's feeling like, okay, you're happy that this thing is ending, but then you're like, but I don't want to go and start another world all over again. Like I just want to chill here. And I don't think that's really an option, unfortunately. There is purpose waiting for you on the other side. And the magician comes around to remind us that we have all the tools we need to be on this journey. It's almost like you need to look at, like, where were you 10 years ago? And what are all the things that you've learned in the last 10 years? Because 10 years ago you is definitely different than you now. I know 10 years ago it's different for me. There's a difference between 25 and 35. There's a difference between 15 and 25. There's a difference between 35 and 45. The point is that the journey never stops. And I believe even in death, the journey never stops. It's just another world we enter to continue playing the game. We're constantly leveling up. So there is definitely a need for you to like be where you are. Be present where you are. Be appreciative of, one chapter closing. Be appreciative that a new chapter is on its way. And let go, man. Just let go a little bit more. Because the more we try to control these transitions, the less smooth they go. Sometimes there's only so much you can do. You can only control what you can control. You know what I mean? Lately it's been making me think of what's the prayer or something like that. It's kind of there's a lot of that going on right now. Like, you can only do so much. You got to be where you are. You got to try to be really present and trust that you're on the journey. You're doing it. Even if you like feel a little stuck right now between the ending and the beginning, even if you don't feel like you're doing it, any like being in your present, you're doing it. You're on the journey, you're on the path. I mean, it's cool. There's a lot of crossover in these cards too. Like, see how she has like the batons here, and then the Fool is there holding this flower here, and then we come into the Magician, and the Magician has the baton. That we're two in the world, one here, and then there's the white flowers here also. You're in the natural progression. I don't think I've ever seen these cards come up so in syncly in order before. And the fact that you have 3 major arcana in this major transition means it's a big deal. It's major. They don't call it major arcana for nothing. This is big. These are big transitions on your path of life. And it's literally talking about your path. And how, like, this has come up for a few signs. It's the circle of life, man. It's the circle of life. And it moves us all. Okay. I think I'm a really great singer. I do pretty good at karaoke. In my mind, I'm much better than I am. Alright, let's get you a mystical... Oh my gosh, throwing things. Holy crap. You want this. I know you do. It's a Mystical Shaman Oracle by Alberto Villoldo. Excuse me. Colette Baron Reed and Marcela Lobos. Get in there. Get in there. Resistance, Gemini. Resistance. What are you afraid of? Leo season is wanting us to work through the fear. To keep going despite the fear. Ooh, the Sorcerer. Sorcerer is a cool one. Which, hello, we got the Magician. The Magician and the Sorcerer, pretty similar. Oh, I don't know if I really noticed this on the Sorcerer, but there's like a rainbow here. It's kind of like that prismatic where it kind of dissipates over here, where it's almost like, and it's kind of projected on their face there. Big moon in the back. Okay, the Essence. This is the source of dark power. The Sorcerer represents the destructive aspect of the human psyche and the self-centered behavior that harms others. It symbolizes the unconscious beliefs and ideas that foster separation, conflict, and scarcity. And because it was upright, we get the invitation. But I might read the medicine too, because that's what's been happening with all the signs. When the sorcerer enters your circle, you're being called to look at how your beliefs around scarcity and self-centered fear manifest in your world. Examine the destructive parts of your psyche that misuses power or harbors feelings of resentment, vengeance, lust, greed, bigotry, or hatred. Perhaps you've harmed someone because of these dark tendencies. If so, all is not lost. You have only forgotten that all beings are interconnected and the universe is abundant. The sorcerer arrives to challenge you to change your thinking. You're given a second chance. Hello. Literally. Correct your course and practice not blaming others for the darkness that lives inside you. We all have darkness inside of us. It's our shadow. Make peace with it and choose another way. Yours can just be more prevalent, Gemini, because you are the twins, the dual sign. Your shadow just can be more easily accessed. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's about recognizing it and managing it. I don't want to say and not controlling it, but like managing it, working with it. I'm going to read the medicine also. Have you been feeling out of sorts because you've been faced with your own character flaws and the pain that you inflict on others when you are out of alignment? Radical self-acceptance is called for you now. You must reconcile these darker aspects of your nature so you don't behave irresponsibly and cause more harm to yourself and the ones you love. It's time to come out of denial and accept responsibility for your words and deeds. When you meet the energy of the sorcerer with humility, this destructive power transforms into grace, which you can use in service to the highest good. Perhaps it's time to make amends. Do it. It will set you free from the shadows and let you step into the light. Because if your shadow is easily accessible, then so is your light, just as much. And the world is moving you forward. And we're all having to kind of take a look back. And maybe that's also why the Fool is coming up in reverse, because it's like looking backwards on the path. And we talked about that you're needing to examine where you've been, how far you've come. And that also means looking at parts of ourselves, parts of yourself that you might not really like or, want to be there, but it's not going to go away. Ignoring it's not going to go away. Ignoring where you're at's not going to change it. Okay? Okay. All right, Gemini, thank you so much again for being here. If you want to dig deeper into these energies, there's a lot coming up right now. My one-on-one sessions link is in the description, and I would love to connect with you. Please let me know if you have any questions or tell me what resonated with you. And I appreciate you being here, and I will see you for Virgo season. Bye, Gemini.